Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of domain and range. This is standard A.2A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 13 of the 2018 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the domain and range of this strange looking function f of x equals negative 37. So let's first define those two terms, because you're not going to find them on the reference materials, the mathematics chart, so you're going to have to just come into the STAAR test knowing what those are. So the domain represents the set of all independent variable values. Now, we say independent variables, but most of us just kind of use the short term of the x values. And then the range is going to be its partner. So if the domain is the set of all independent variable values, then the range is going to be the set of all dependent. And once again, we'll probably just, most of us use the short term of the y values. Except that doesn't really help us in this situation. Take a look at our function. So f of x equals negative 37. Well, there's multiple problems. There's only one x, right? And it's over here on the left side, and it's in this f of x. So this is typically where the y goes, right? So y, it kind of acts as an f of x, because the f of x, right, that takes the x is supposed to be over here on the right side, and then the f of x, right, kind of acts as that dependent value. So here's our range, okay, and then the domain is supposed to be somewhere over here, but I don't see any x, okay? At least that's what it's supposed to be, but it seems like it's kind of flipped. So let's see if we can figure out what this looks like. So if what we're going to do is we're going to kind of graph this right here, and let's just say we have our f of x. So this is really our y. So if we wanted to kind of rewrite this, since this isn't working for us, we can say y, because that's the only thing we do know is that this is our dependent variable right here. And I'll write that for us. Dependent variable is that f of x. So we can kind of put that there as a part of our definition. So that y equals negative 37. Okay, well, I know how to graph that. If it's negative 10, negative 20, negative 30, negative 40, right? If I had y equals negative 37, it's going to be something that looks like this, and it's just a straight line. If y equals negative 37, it's just a straight line that goes side to side. So how does that help us with our domain and range? Okay, well, remember the domain is the x values, and so look at what the x values are. It just goes on forever and ever. So our domain is going to be greater than negative infinity. Let's see if I can make that look like negative infinity, and less than infinity. That's how we would represent it with an inequality. But really, it's every single number, because all we have here is this x, and it doesn't tell us what the limitations of x are. So no matter what you do with x, you plug it into this function, and then the range always turns into negative 37. No matter what happens, no matter what x we put in there, it always ends up as negative 37. So this right here, another way to say that would be all real numbers, right? And basically, if we just look at it like this, y equals negative 37, that's our clue, because that means that's our dependent variable value, and the only one that has that is right here for d, and that is our answer.